Thanks, Diabetes World. We're up. We didn't sleep in today. Slept in yesterday. That's why the vlog was so late. But we're up now. Yesterday I was up and I had a low blood sugar again. And, things aren't always that great in a low. Because even though I don't feel them, and a lot of brittle diabetics do have hypoglycemic unawareness, they're still very draining on your system. And a lot of times, I have to eat a lot more than I really want to. But, things like that just keep happening. And it's to get your blood sugar up, you have to have fast-acting sugar. And fast-acting sugar can be fruit juice, pop, and, then it's always been with me, you gotta stop eating all that simple sugar. It's gonna kill you. Well, the worst thing is, if I don't, it's gonna kill me. So, we have to be cognizant of what we eat and how much we eat. Now, for an average diabetic, they usually have to eat 15 grams of carbs and then wait 15 minutes, and then if it doesn't go up, eat 15 grams of carbs. Well, a lot of times when I eat to contour a low, I have to eat a lot more, and a quick acting carbohydrate, and sometimes that will hang around onto your system, and it'll carry on as fat. And I gained at least 20 kilograms when I was in the hospital because they kept feeding me. And you're full and you're stuffed, and then they say, you have to eat, you're low. I think I've gone on this rant before, but we started using glucagon a lot more because I can't keep eating all the time. And glucagon is a hormone. It's another hormone, I believe, which is actually, I may be wrong here, so don't quote me, but may actually be produced by your pancreas. And what it is, insulin lowers your glucose. Glucagon raises it. And it's used quite a bit at home if you have a low blood sugar. Or a severe low. That you can usually take it and it will work. And it has worked for me. But you're not purely set on that, because if you're low and you take it, you're going to have to eat so that your body, your liver can store the substance, and you're in the cycle again. So, low blood sugars, everyone else panics, and you're kind of, it's a low blood sugar. Gets people a little bit upset with you. But when things happen constantly all the time, people aren't really get that excited over things. Now, a lot of people ask me, what does a low feel like? How do you know if you're low? Well, the average diabetic, can get sweaty, can get heart palpitations, trembling. Those are the three major ones. And, I've heard it say that your heart feels like it's going to jump out of your chest. And, I can remember that happening to me. And even when in the hospital years ago, they used to force your body to have a low blood sugar. And, you were given your insulin in the morning, and then you weren't given any breakfast until you had an insulin reaction. Well, it was close to noon for me. And it was just the heart. I didn't get sweaty. I have had severe low blood sugars where I ended up sweaty, but that's usually now when I've passed out. So, a low blood sugar is something to be concerned about. And most brittle diabetics, like myself, we've had the warnings over and over again. So, okay, we test. But, they expect us, excuse me, to run, oh my god, I'm low. And they get very upset that, it's kind of, oh well, yes, I'm low. Yeah, okay, I'll go drink something. A lot of times it's like we have to race around to do it to make the outsiders feel better. And a lot of the nurses and doctors don't really understand what a diabetic with a low blood sugar feels like. We, try to keep things in line, and sometimes we have low, and then we'll have a high, and I've mentioned this before, where a lot of times it's, oh well, you're cheating. Well, if you just ate better and exercise, all your problems will be over. Well, someone who's liable or a brittle diabetic, such as myself, you won't necessarily get better. So, you want to make sure that you, as a diabetic, follow the best that you can do for your diabetes control. Don't let diabetes win. And, winning is if you notice an infection and you don't take care of it and you lose a limb, diabetics won, or diabetes is won. A lot of times people seem to think they know everything. Ooh, the early morning sun. But, don't race around and Don't put on a show for everyone else's attention. If you need to treat yourself, you treat yourself. But don't, like I said, do things for anyone else. It's just pretty well yourself that you need to take control of your life. And a low blood sugar, a high blood sugar are all parts of most diabetics' life. A brittle diabetic, it can happen very quickly. And we don't realize it a lot of times, and that's why it's so serious with a brittle diabetic, because if you don't feel them, how are you going to treat them in time? And, I don't know how I survived a lot of times, because I get panicking if I do start to feel a low blood sugar. Because if I start to feel low blood sugar, then I know, that things have to happen pretty quickly. But if I don't feel, I do a blood sugar test and it comes out at a low number below 3, to me it's kind of like, okay, guess I'll treat it. But it's not a crisis. And I guess maybe it should be a crisis. It's a running joke when I go to diabetes daycare. I call it diabetes daycare because a lot of times I keep ending up in a low blood sugar. And that could be sort of the white coat syndrome here. Anticipating going, and so now I try to bring my own little treats. But keeping a tight rein on your diabetes could always help. Knowing where your blood sugars are all the time is a positive way to go. You're inside out. Oh, it's warm. It's a little chilly out there this morning. But if you don't keep tabs on where your blood sugars are, you're going to have problems. Now, because I don't feel it is the reasons why I have a diabetic alert dog. And Nico takes care of me. And he does a pretty good job. He's pretty awesome. But, I think I more pay attention to him than the alarms on my pump or any other alarms. Because Nico is the best. And about 95% of the blood sugars I have, Nico picks up on them. Let me get out of here. So keeping control of you is sort of the best. For any diabetic, you shouldn't be missing meals. You shouldn't be playing around with numbers. So it's all about you, and a low blood sugar can be one of the worst things that can happen because you won't always feel things. So remember that. Take care of yourself. Have a great day.